I'm Huey Poplock, and this is Huey's Views and Reviews. Today we're going to talk about some scanning programs for your iPad or iPhone. Now, a scanner is usually a standalone device, or it's part of a multifunction printer that has the ability to scan. A scan is nothing more than a copy machine that saves the document instead of printing it out, prints it to a document, and you then have it, you can save it digitally. With the iPad and the iPhone, instead of doing it mechanically, what you're doing is you're actually taking a picture using your device, your iPad or iPhone, and then manipulating the photo so that you can optical character recognition, OCR it. In other words, to turn it into text that's editable and usable. So we're going to demonstrate two programs, one called CamScanner, which was mentioned by one of our members of our user group, computer user group, and I had not used it before, and then also one that I've been using called Scanner Pro. And then for good measure, we're going to throw in the business card reader called BizScan, and we'll demonstrate that as well. So let's get started. Let's look at the CamScanner right now. It's a free program. However, there is a $5 in-program purchase that you can get some extras and some extra added features to it. But the free version does work. And we're going to take a look at it. Now you can see right now that I have captured an article. And when I click, when I bring it up and then I make it larger, we can take a look at it. It's in color. And when you want to OCR something, you really don't want to try it and do it in color, because when you do, what happens is you get very little text that's recognizable. As you can see on the right, that it basically doesn't give you any information. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that same article, and up on the far right it says re-edit. I'm going to click on that, and so we're now re-editing it. So you can change what you want to actually do for the OCR. We just want this information right here. We're able to square it up and get it just the way we want, or what we want to have in it. Move it over just a little bit, and I think a little bit here, so we don't have anything from the picture. We want to bring this down so it looks like it's probably going to be squared off pretty much. And I'll move this over just a hair. And now we'll go to the next step on the top right. And there's our information. Now you notice it is in color, but on the left, I can turn it to black and white just by clicking on the B and W, and I'm going to do that now. And it turns it to black and white. So that will make the OCR work much better, and now we'll go to next step. And so there's our document. Now if you'll notice on the bottom right of the icons, it says OCR with a magnifying glass, so I'm going to now tell it to OCR it. It's going to tell us what it does, which is use OCR feature to recognize text in the image for later search or sharing. So we're going to say OK. OK, it's done, and let's view what we now captured. Now you can see we got the actual information. And then what we can do is the little arrow where it says recognize text, we can actually clip it, copy it to the pasteboard. You can email it, or you can open it up in something. And so it's now usable, and you can then use it in another program. Now, how do you get those documents scanned? Well, there's several ways in which you can do it. One is to go out, and by clicking the plus here, we can go out to our photo album and click on photo album. And it brings up, and this is how I got that document. But let's take this page again. We're going to say done. So it went out, it found the document. We can change it, but notice it's sideways. So on the left-hand side, we can rotate it. So let's rotate it this way. Bingo. Again, we can change it and move it around just like we did before. And that's how we can do it. We'll go like this. Bring this in just a little more. And so at this point, we can go to next step. And bingo, it now has changed it to black and white, and we can just do the same kind of things. If you want to go back and look at the original, you click on original. If you want to lighten it, you can do a magic color. And you can also make it grayscale. So depending on what you want to do, and then there's some adjustments on the right. But let's go back to the black and white and go to the next step. And it's now there, and you can do the same thing that we just did. There's no sense in doing it again. So that's the program. So you can either take a picture of something, you can take one that's already in your pictures that you've already taken. You take a picture of it first and then do it, or with this program, and I'm going to demonstrate it using the other one, so there's no sense in doing it twice. I'll do it with the other program. We'll actually take an article and take a picture of it and bring it in. I did notice that I wasn't as happy with when you take the picture from within this program. It's not as accurate as it was with my with the second program that I'm going to demonstrate, which we'll go to now. One of the things you can do after you've done that, you can email it. Let's see, that's for messages, but you can there are several things you can do with this. So take the document. Let's take the one we already OCR'd, take it this way. And several things that you can do with it. And by clicking the three dots, you can email it, you can fax it. If you have that capability, you can upload it, you can open it in another program, you can look at the PDF view, or you can email it to yourself if you wish. So there's a lot of different ways that what you can do with the document itself. Okay. Let's take a look at Scanner Pro, which is our second program. This is the one I've been using. It does cost $4 from a company called Riaddle. And I've been using this for quite a while, and I've been very pleased with it. And you can see I took a picture of a receipt that I happen to have, and I was able to OCR it as well, or just have a copy of a receipt, so I'd have a record of purchasing something. But let's go ahead and add a new document. Okay, you'll notice I clicked on that, and what it wants to do is it wants to create or take this document. So I'm going to take a document right here. It's focusing. I want to make sure, try to be as steady as you can. Took a picture of it. And so let's, not the clearest, let's try it one more time. Retake. See if we can make it a little bit clearer. In other words, not move as much. There we go. Okay, and we're going to save the selection. I probably should have cropped it, but it's working now. And there's the actual article. So at this point, we want to go into Edit. I'm going to crop it first, because I can do it here instead of for when I took the picture of it. Again, it works very similar to the other program. By moving my fingers around, I can take what I want from the article. That seems to be pretty good right there. And I'm going to say, up in the top right, it says Save Selection. I'll save it. There's the article. Now you'll notice I could rotate it along the top. I can crop it, which is what we just did. I can rotate it if it happens to be sideways. I can do some correction. I can do some light adjustment. I can, if it was in color, I can click color. Let's just take a look at what our choices are. You can go to a color document, a black and white document, color photo, or grayscale. But because the document itself was in black and white, and it saved it that way, and you can also by size, it can be letter size and so on. We can save it out, but then we can go to Actions, Now we can set a password on the PDF, or we can recognize the document. Let's go ahead and recognize, which means do the OCR. You'll see it does it quite quickly. That was real time. And then show as text. And there it is as text. You'll notice it handled that large T. The other program, the CamScanner, didn't handle that T quite as well, and there was no T. You had to manually go in and edit it. But there's our document. It's completely OCR'd, and it's editable. We can do whatever we want. That's the text, and there's the image of it. And go back to text. So it's done. So we can now copy and paste, do whatever we want with that document. We can delete it if we needed to. Now, what can we do with this document? Let's go to this. We can do several things. We can email it. We can open it up in another program. We can open it up as a PDF because I happen to have a PDF program on this computer. I can print it. Although that says Printer Pro, which is one of their programs, but I can also, there's some settings that I can do. And say done. But I do have a printer set up on this, so if we come down here for more, I believe that's the printer may be there. No, but there are some other things that are there. We can save it out to Dropbox. We can put it in Evernote or OneNote. As I said, we can email it to ourselves as well. There's several things that we can do. We can go back to this and see what else we've got out here. That's the one that's selected. We can deselect all, and we can actually delete from here as well. So we're going to say done. We're back here. We'll save it. And so now we have the two documents, and we can do whatever we want with it. There are some settings that we can go in and take a look at. And under the text OCR, you can do it in several languages. If it's a different language, it's not going to change the language. In other words, because we scanned English, it's not going to then scan it and make it German. It's not going to translate for you. But if it was a German document or an Italian document, it would also do OCR of it as well in that language. It does not translate. So that is Scanner Pro. It sells for $4, and they also have a bundled package for, I think it's $13 with their PDF program, and another program. You get all three of them for the $13. So I happen to like this. I've been very happy with it. I've used it over the last couple of years, and I've been pleased with it. So that is Scanner Pro. Now I want to show you BizScan BizCard, and we're going to bring it up. This is a neat program. If you do a lot of traveling or you collect business cards, you go to a lot of shows, and you don't want to type in all the information that you get from each of the cards, you can do a lot of things. Let's look at the cards that I've already put in my system. There are several of them, and I'm not going to look at them closely because we're going to do one by clicking the Add a New Card in the center button. And you'll notice that it wants me to do it sideways, so we're going to do it sideways. I'm going to find the business card on my desk if we can. There it is. Try to get enough light on it. Try to get it level. Take a picture of it. It scans it. Okay, I'm going to bring it back over here. It didn't do all of the words. Now I've done it several times. The lighting has a lot to do with it. It's not really well lit. I'm going to try something a little bit different. What we're going to do is we're going to click where it says the rescan card next to the card. I'm going to put this down on in my little holder here. Oh, it's going to actually rescan it, and that's not what I wanted to do. Although it did a better job of scanning at that time, so I didn't have to retake the picture, but I could do that as well. But notice that it got Microsoft correct on this venture. It's got the phone number and so on. And so we're going to say, okay, We could add the backside if there was one, and I'm going to say save it. And now what I have a choice of is scan another card. I can add it to my address book, so let's go ahead and do that. Contact saved, and I say OK. There it is in my contact list. It's got the home page. It should have her email in there, but I'm not sure whether it does. Next steps, and we'll go back, and we can go ahead and say done. And now if we go back to explore our cards, we can find her card right here. There's the card, there's her email address, or the website. I didn't pick up the email address, but I think I did it when I did it yesterday testing it. I think I've got 2 copies of it here. Let's look at this one. This one did pick up, the website is a little bit different, but it did pick up her email. So at different times, depending upon the lighting, how it handles the OCR, but it does put it in your address book. And then once you have it in the address book, you can also save it so it goes out. Let's take the card, and we're going to take the card again. And one of the things we can do with this is when we edit, you can go in and you can change any of that information, make sure that it's correct. You can correct it in here. We could add more information if it wasn't correct. Everything seems to be okay. And then when we hit the plus would be for more information, folders, edit contact, we can save it. And there we are. You can set up some reminders. You can update contacts. You can sync this with other address books, for instance, Outlook. And there are some others which you can do some syncing. So as you add them on here, they'll add it to your contact list in other places. There are some limitations as far as that goes. This is the light version. It was free, and I believe they do have a paid version as well. Those are our 3 items for today. Try them out. And this way you can save an awful lot of typing. And enjoy. Till next time, this is Huey Poplock saying bye until next time for Huey's Views and Reviews.